not just one step, but we have two things that we have to do to solve it, okay? So to solve a two-step equation, we're gonna follow kind of the same process. We do everything about the same, okay? So you're still gonna draw a line, but now this time, instead of just circling the variable, you're gonna circle the variable and its best friend, okay? So the letter this time isn't going to necessarily be quarantined until the end, okay? So the variable, the letter is always going to have a best friend, and then we have to get rid of anything next to the variable and best friend. They want to just hang out, get rid of the extra people, and then finally we have to get rid of the best friend. Okay, so now for some of you, you're like, what are you talking about, Miss Elfring? This is making no sense. Okay, let me show you. Okay, so really we're just going to put a bunch of examples in our notes. Okay, got your pencil ready? You ready to write? Or pen, I don't care what you write with. Okay, some of you, I can see you talking to somebody else in your house. Make sure you're paying attention here. Okay, pencils are ready, here we go. The first problem I want you to write down in your notes looks like this. 4k plus 10 equals 14. 4k plus 10 equals 14. So everybody write that down in your notes. And then draw a line by the equal sign. Okay, and then we're going to circle the variable and its best friend. Okay, so what's the variable in this case? You can type it in the chat or you can just say it. What's the variable?
K.
The K, right? Okay, and the variable has a best friend, and the best friend is like attached to the variable. So what's the best friend in this case? I see some of you doing charades with me, right? You're holding up 4. Okay, so I'm going to circle that whole thing. Circle the variable and its best friend. They have to stick together, right? You stick together with your best friend. You don't just leave them hanging. Okay, well, maybe some of you do. I'm not sure. Okay, so then we're going to get rid of the plus 10. We got to get rid of the other piece. How do I get rid of a plus 10? What's the opposite of plus? Right? Minus 10. So we're going to put minus 10 on each side and draw a line underneath it. So your notebook should look just like mine right now. Okay, the variable and its best friend are still there. We're going to bring that down. So we have 4k. The 10 and the minus 10 cross out. 14 minus 10 is 4. Okay, now the variable wants to be by itself. So now we have to get rid of the best friend. Okay, the best friend has to go away. How am I going to get rid of that 4?
Divide by 4.
Divide by 4, right? This is what we were just doing like 10 minutes ago. So this is multiplying by 4. I'm going to divide each side by 4. Cross off the 4s on the left-hand side, so the variable is by itself. 4 divided by 4 is 1. So my answer is k equals 1. Okay? Now again, I'll give you extra credit if you check your work. So 4k plus 10 equals 14. I would cross off the k and put a 1 there. Well, 4 times 1 is 4 plus 10 is 14. So I have just proved that my answer works. K equals 1. Okay, I want you to hold your notebook up to your screen right now so I can see all your work that you've shown. And it looks so pretty, and you have your line there, and there's 2 steps to solve it. Nice job. All right. Some of you, I didn't see your, Travis, did you hold your notebook up there? I need to see it. Okay, let's try another example. Here's the next one. And these all look just a little bit different. Okay, so write this problem in your notebook exactly as you see it. U over 5 plus 4 equals negative 8. Okay, and the first thing we always do is draw a line by the equal sign. And now remember, we're going to circle the variable and its best friend. What's the variable?
U.
U is the variable. What's its best friend? I think some of you... The best friend is not 8. What's U's best friend? Some of you are holding your pen. 5. 5 is the best friend. Okay? So I'm going to circle the U over 5. They are best friends. They need to stick together as long as possible. Okay, so I have to get rid of the other piece next to that. How do I get rid of a plus 4? Yeah, some of you are doing this. Minus 4. So subtract 4 from each side and draw a line underneath it. Okay, I'm going to cross off the 4's. I have the variable and its best friend. So I bring that down. Equals, what's negative 8 minus 4? What's negative 8 minus 4? We're subtracting here, so be careful, but there's negatives. I haven't seen a right answer in the chat yet.
Negative 4.
Nope, it's not negative 4. Be careful.
Negative 2.
Not negative 2.
4.
Not 4. I see some people finally have it in the chat. It is negative 12. Okay, so you guys remember, I'm going to write it off to the side. Negative 8 minus 4, keep, change, right? Is negative 8 plus negative 4, which is negative 12. Okay, now we've got the variable divided by 5 equals negative 12. Now we have to get the variable by itself. The best friend has to go. How do I get rid of the best friend? How do we get rid of the dividing by 5?
Times it by 5.
Times both sides by 5. So we're going to multiply by 5 on each side. Cross off both 5's on the left-hand side. I have U equals negative 12 times 5 is negative 60. And there's our answer. So the answer to this problem is U equals negative 60. We can check it. U over 5 plus 4 equals negative 8. Replace the U with negative 60 and see if it works. Negative 60 divided by 5 is negative 12, and negative 12 plus 4 is negative 8. Okay. Now, if you would have gotten this wrong, right? Some of you, as you were working maybe a little bit ahead of me, you said the answer was negative 20. If I put negative 20 into this check instead of negative 60, so if I put negative 20 here, then I would have had negative 4 plus 4, and negative 4 plus 4 is 0. That wouldn't have worked. 0 doesn't equal negative 8. So I would know my answer is wrong and I should go back and try to fix it. Okay? Or I should ask Miss Elfring for help and I would help you try to find your mistake. So the whole point of the check is you should be able to find out if you did it right or wrong. Okay, let's put this next one in our notes. This one looks a little bit different because there's parentheses. So 6 parenthesis x plus 2 equals 18. So Jada Roche, I want you on the Hello Smart screen right now. Jordan, yours didn't switch. Try to reload it. Not sure what's going on there. Okay, so I want you to draw the line by the equal sign, because that's what we do. The variable is easy to pick out. The variable is x. What do you think the variable's best friend is this time?
2.
Yeah, it's actually the 2. They're in parentheses together, so that means they stick together. They're best friends. When they're together in parentheses, they're best friends. So I'm going to circle the x plus 2. They have to stay together. But now I have to get rid of the 6. Is the 6 being added, subtracted, multiplied, or divided?
Multiply.
Right now it's multiply. So what's the opposite of multiply?
Divide.
Divide. So we're going to divide both sides by 6 to get rid of that 6. The variable and the best friend want to be just them. So we get rid of the 6. We have x plus 2 equals 18 divided by 6, which is 3. Okay? Now the variable wants to be by itself. Get rid of the best friend. How do I get rid of a plus 2? Some of you are doing this with a minus 2. So I'm going to put minus 2 on each side. And you get x equals 1. Questions there? Okay, you can check it, of course, and see if it works. 6 parenthesis x plus 2 equals 18. We replace the x with a 1. We do what's in the parentheses first. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 times 6 is 18. Okay, remember on your homework, you'll get extra credit if you do the check. All right, let's look at another one. Okay, write this one in your notes. U minus 2, you have to write it exactly as it looks, over 4 equals negative 1. I'm going to make you hold this one up to the screen when we're done, so if you're not writing anything, you need to start writing right now. Okay, draw the line by the equal sign, just like we've done on every other problem. And then circle the variable and its best friend. Obviously the variable is u. What's the best friend?
2.
The 2, right? The u and the 2 are next to each other. The u minus 2 gets circled. That's the variable and its best friend. Okay, so we have to get rid of the dividing by 4. What's the opposite of dividing by 4?
Times by 4.
Times by 4. So we're going to multiply each side by 4. I can cross off the 4's on the left. I have the variable and its best friend. So u minus 2 equals negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. Okay, now the variable wants to get rid of the best friend. How do we get rid of a minus 2? Some of you are doing this, right? With a plus 2. So we're going to put plus 2 on each side. And we're going to be really careful with negatives. So we end up with u equals negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2. Okay, if you want to check it, I rewrite the problem. I'm going to cross out the u and put negative 2 there. Okay, on the top, negative 2 minus 2, keep change, is negative 4 divided by 4, which is negative 1. So it works. Okay, hold your notebook up to the screen. Let me see that problem. All right. Nice job, everyone. Okay. This one you're going to do on Hello Smart by yourself. I mean, I'll kind of talk you through it, but. Okay, I'm going to make it an activity for you so you can click start. So go ahead and click start. Remember, the very first thing you're going to do is draw the line by the equal sign and circle the variable and its best friend. So start by drawing the line, circle the variable and its best friend, get rid of the other piece. So Kaden, after you circle the 4y, you need to get rid of the plus 3. So put minus 3 on each side. You want to keep the variable and the best friend together. Brooke, go ahead and just click OK and rejoin. Hopefully it'll pop up for you then. Maddie Kramer, be careful with negative signs. -9 minus 3, be careful with that. Maya, make sure you put a negative sign on that 12. Megna, make sure you put a negative sign on the 12. So Kaden, I'm going to have you erase and start over. Bryn, be careful with what -9 minus 3 is. What's -9 minus 3? So Kaden, circle the 4y. And that, don't put 4y down. Don't write that. You want to put -3 on each side. Don't write the 4y yet. Just put -3 on each side. Jada Roush, be careful with what -9 minus 3 is. Maddie Kramer, don't forget the negative sign on the 12. Megna, remember you're going to divide by 4. You need to get rid of the best friend. Maya, be careful with what -9 minus 3 is. Zach Nelson, be careful with what -9 minus 3 is. Okay, so Kaden, now draw a line underneath that. Be careful though, -9 minus 3 is -12. Okay, so I'm going to run through this. The correct answer is y equals -3. Okay, if you didn't have that, even if you did, put your screen side by side so you can see how I did this. Okay, you're going to draw a line by the equal sign. And you need to circle the variable and its best friend. So you're going to circle the 4y. Now you have to get rid of the other piece. You have to get rid of the plus 3. So to get rid of a plus 3, you're going to -3. And draw a line underneath it. Okay, I can cross off the 3's and I have the variable and its best friend. And -9 minus 3. is negative 12. Be really careful with negatives. Okay, then here's the other mistake some of you made. Some of you saw this 4 and you decided to add or subtract the problem. Matthew, I see your statement there. I don't know why it's not loading for you. Just go ahead and follow along on Zoom. Okay, so you're going to divide each side by 4. Remember, when the y and the 4 are right next to each other, that's multiplying. So you divide, and you get y equals negative 3. So there's your answer. Again, you can check it. 4y plus 3 should equal negative 9. I'm going to replace the y with negative 3. So 4 times negative 3 is negative 12 plus 3, and negative 12 plus 3 is negative 9. So it works. Okay? Questions on that problem at all? All right, I need everybody